Welcome back to Crystal Clear. I'm Vox, and you thought 4 episodes of Steven Universe Future were airing in December? Ha! As it turns out, the first 10 episodes of Future will be airing all throughout the month. How long are Cartoon Network series nowadays? Oh, yikes. Not only do we have every single episode title, but for the first time in 2019, we have episode descriptions for Steven Universe episodes. It's so beautiful. I miss this so much. So as always, we're going to run through and break down these episode descriptions, try to piece together just what the hell is going on, and see if we can shoehorn in any of our favorite theories, especially those pertaining to a certain orange gem. Of course, spoiler warning, if you do not want to know anything about Steven Universe Future beyond any promos or thumbnails that aren't commissioned fan art for this channel, please click off now. With all that said, let's dive in. Starting with the episodes that make up the hour-long premiere, we have Little Homeschool. With the synopsis, welcome to Little Homeschool, a place on Earth where gems from all over the universe can come learn how to live together peacefully. But there's one gem who refuses to attend. Now, I'm under the impression that Little Homeschool is, well, a school within Little Home World. Pretty much a crash course on how to be a crystal gem without the fighting and the weapons. How to take no after human beings like Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl have done. And I feel like that's a really cute and really meaningful subplot to have going on during this epilogue. As we see later in these descriptions, there will actually be a resolution to the Little Homeworld subplot. It's not just going to be a one-off episode. But allow me to tell ya, as I mentioned in my breakdown, this is a great way to catch up viewers on what's been going on in Little Homeworld without coming across as forced exposition. Like Steven assumably giving the pink gem we see in the sneak peek of tour the new lifestyle gems can adopt. Now, the gem who refuses to attend may be this pink gem. Very doubtful, as more than likely, this gem refusing to attend, refusing to give in to Steven's dirty earth tactics, is none other than Jasper. And let me just say, if the first episode of Steven Universe Future of this brand new epilogue series is about Jasper, I'm going to break down and cry right here on the floor. But yeah, safe to assume Jasper's gonna crash the crash course, stirring up trouble for Steven and everyone else, likely leading to the clash that we see in the sneak peek. With a fight between Steven and Jasper, I'm gonna cry right here on the floor. But this would be a great way to establish everything about Steven Universe Future, about Little Homeworld. Establish that Jasper is still a force to be reckoned with. And if her brawl with Steven really unfolds here, it'll also establish Steven's new uncontrollable powers that he needs to get a grip on before people seriously get hurt. Honestly, out of all the episode summaries we were given, this was probably the most straightforward to piece together. But next up, we have Guidance, where Amethyst has been helping Little Homeschool gems find jobs on the boardwalk, but Steven isn't sure about her approach. When I first read the description, I was grinning from ear to ear. I've always wanted an episode of Steven Universe where we see a gem. In my head, it was always a crystal gem like Peridot or Lapis, have to obtain employment on Earth, and we see them perform job duties on the boardwalk. Now, the press image released alongside the descriptions actually seems to fit this episode, as we see Steven and Amethyst in Fish Stew Pizza, with Crab Gem present seemingly as an employee. Whether if she's just going to be a server or if she's actually going to be, rolling the dough and serving entrees is yet to be seen. But this has me thinking, those gems are gonna get voices, right? Like, we're gonna have voice acting up in this, right? They're not just gonna make facial expressions as their primary way of communicating, right? Right? Now, on the note of Guidance, Steven may be unsure of Amethyst's approach, but really, he's never worked a job either. So who could he and Amethyst consult that would give him actual pointers on gems, an alien species of technology, to not only perform human labor, but actually work with human beings? Well, as we saw from the sneak peek, there is one active group of gem out there performing their duties from Era 2. Not because they're forced to, but likely because they want to. And that, of course, is the Famethyst. We going back to the zoo, baby! Yes, I'm confident the Famethyst will return in this episode. we'll get to catch up on everything that happened with the zoo, we'll catch up on the zoom-ins, whatever happened to Holly Blue Agate, and, of course, touch on the fate of what happened to the Bubbled Rose Quartz gems. And considering this likely will be an amethyst-focused episode, providing amethyst development, maybe I'm being a bit on the greedy side, but I would love if Jasper made her way to the zoo as well. Give Jasper a chance to interact with who's pretty much her sisters. The closest direct link she has to any some sort of family in terms of gem, whom she may have never really connected with and spoken to prior. But again, wishful thinking. But the third episode of this hour-long event, Rosebuds, oh ho ho ho, I got a feeling. With the description, Steven gets a surprise visit for some old friends, and even more surprising introduction to some new ones. I'm thinking, as the title implies, we'll be reunited with homeworld gems that we haven't seen in a bit. Now, going off the ending of Steven Universe the movie, the surprise visit is likely the diamonds, which means Spinel will be a part of their crew. Why a surprise visit? Because as always, this time including Spinel, they all miss Steven. But with the title Rosebuds, what would be the surprising introduction? Well, going off the previous episode with a trip to the zoo, I think it would make sense that the surprise introduction would actually be a rose quartz gem, those who were unbubbled from Pink Diamond's personal room in the zoo. I'm sure this would have some kind of impact on Steven's well-being and his uncontrollable new powers. But considering the next episode, Pink Pearl may also be in the company of the Diamonds and Spinel, which I voiced my passion for the Pink Pearl Spinel ship before. This is a relationship of some kind waiting to blossom and happen. But considering the synopsis of the next episode, Spinel may be like, yeah, I don't mind the Pearl, but she's a bit, well, you saw how I was towards Pink. It's worse, Steven. It's worse. Other surprise appearances could be Eyeball and Aquamarine, but that's more dependent on how they want to set up that plotline. Do they want to reintroduce the separate gems first, or do they want to go straight into it? Now, considering the sneak peek and the differences between animation studios with Pink Pearl, having shots animated by both Rough Draft and Sunman, I assume the end of this episode will take us to that location found in those scenes. Which takes us to the last episode of this hour-long event, Volleyball. With the synopsis, Steven is determined to help Pink Diamond's original Pearl heal the scar on her face. And yikes. That's the goal of the episode, that's the conflict. Steven wants to heal Pink Pearl's scar. So naturally, I believe the opposing force will be Pink Pearl herself.
You ain't touching this scar, bitch. It's all I have left of Pink.
Of course, we'll get inside to Pink Pearl's backstory, her potential lingering obsession of Pink Diamond, or the idea of Pink Diamond, and I believe this episode is called Volleyball because that's how Pink Pearl lost her eye. Not in a one-to-one intense game of volleyball, but some weird homeworld equivalent. Which would mean, yeah, Pink Diamond did crack her pearl. It likely wasn't an external force, and even though it wasn't intentional, it still left seemingly irreversible damage. Maybe the process to healing Pink Pearl goes beyond just healing spit, something that Pink Diamond was never able to figure out, because White Diamond took Pink Pearl under her control shortly after. Thus, we may get an evolution of Steven's healing powers, and it could backfire on him in one way or another. And while I'm hoping that Pink Pearl will have everything figured out by the end of the episode, she'll be able to move forward from Pink Diamond and have her eye healed. If by the end of the episode her eye is healed and she did not want that at all, it could have disastrous consequences down the road. But that takes us to the following week with the 2 episodes Bluebird and a very special episode. 2 episodes I'm really excited for, holy cow. Bluebird being, Steven questions the motives of a mysterious fusion that suddenly shows up at his house. This, of course, is referring to the fusion between Aquamarine and Eyeball. Now, Steven says he's questioning the motives, and just from the episode title alone, I think I already know where this could go. Bluebird Azurite won't be called Bluebird Azurite by the beginning of the episode. That's the thing. We know that fusions name themselves, and it typically tends to be a name that was created in the moment. But what if that's not the case for this fusion? Sure, we know they're ultimately going to be called Bluebird Azurite because, you know, that's the gemstone they look like. But in the context of the show, that's not the reason. They likely look like that because Aquamarine and Eyeball are exact opposites. We saw how Garnet looked when she first formed. Why would this fusion be any different? So they may come to Steven with, oh, we want to figure out how to name ourselves. And well, the crystal gems know how to do that. Garnet knows how to do that. I don't know what accent I'm speaking in because I can't really do voices that well. Can you please give me a hand? And yeah, Steven will be very suspicious of this gem, and I mean, for good reason. They're in the opening theme song as a villain. And I think over the course of the episode, Steven will let his guard down, and at the third act of the episode, perhaps Steven will ask, what even brought you two together? Or something along those lines where Bluebird Azurite would have to give the reason for fusing and existing. To which will be the grand reveal. Our hatred for you, Steven. And then there will probably be like a big fight or something. I don't know, is this fusion a threat? In both the opening and the clip we saw, it appears this fusion does not have access of Aquamarine's wand. They could be hiding it, but it could also be because the weapon was, well, confiscated from Aquamarine. You don't need this overpowered weapon anymore. This is an era piece.
But how am I gonna defend myself from, I don't know, rebelling gems?
Oh, Aquamarine, always planning ahead. But I doubt that'll ever happen. And for a very special episode, Rainbow Quartz 2.0 promised to hang out with Onion the same day Sunstone scheduled a home safety Geminar. How can Steven be in two places and two fusions at once? Now, I'm geeked for this episode just because, one, the premise in itself is goofy. Like, yes, this is vintage, classic Steven Universe adventure. Rick and Morty fans missed season 1? Bitch, I missed Steven Universe season 1 when it comes to the Townie episodes. And this is how you do it. Something to do with Steven's powers, something that the fans would want to see, the fusions, but still anchored to Steven's friends, Onion. Now, Steven needing to be two fusions at the same place at once already has me kind of skeptical, and I'm leaning towards this being a goofy episode that gets, pretty dark pretty fast, as it'll tap in, once again, into those uncontrollable new powers. Now, someone on my Twitter thread, follow me at OstrikVox, suggested that perhaps whatever new power comes out of this episode could actually be the remedy to a long-term fan critique. How was Pink Diamond and Rose Quartz in two places at the same time? I.e., how did Rose Quartz get away with being Pink Diamond? It couldn't have always been shapeshifting. Maybe it was a brand new power we never knew about that allowed Pink Diamond to be in two places at once and use her gem abilities. But the catch is, she wouldn't have been able to stage her shattering because if one duplicate poofs, then the other does as well. Really makes you think. But yes, if Steven has some sort of ability that allows him to duplicate himself, one, that would kind of explain why Pearl has the Hollow Pearl ability that had to be adapted from somewhere. And yeah, it would allow Steven to be two fusions at once, as both Stevens could somehow be viable to fuse with Garnet and Pearl. Would that mean his gemstone duplicates, or would it be like a gem projection that can still have Steven's memories? Is it like a shadow clone, but this shadow clone can fuse? Oh my god, what is happening? My brain hurty, I'm probably gonna theorize this even further, and you know what? I'm glad I've been taking the time to flesh out the corrupted Steven theory, because the ability for there to be two Stevens, that's not a concept they will introduce as a one and done. But hoping for some good jokes beyond all the intensity that's bound to ensue. Oh god. Saturday, December 21st, we have an impromptu Christmas special, Snow Day. Steven and the Crystal Gems get a chance to catch up when they're all snowed in together. I'm kind of thinking this may be a major flashback episode. We'll see some things that happened over the 2-year time skip, like the very probable death of Pumpkin, how Bismuth got that new form, what was the construction incident that allowed that to happen? What's been going on with Pearl's dating life? These are the things we need to know. So while I'm sure there could be some serious moments, some heartfelt moments, things that may make us, sob and cry, ultimately, I don't think this will necessarily be a plot-driven episode, but more of, alright, we have some more loose ends created by that time skip that we need to solve. It'll be more character-driven than anything, and if you're thinking, they're doing this when they could have gave us this development in the original series, shut up! Be glad they're doing it at all! Next up, we have Why So Blue? I love this description. It gets me so excited. Steven has heard rumors of a pair of gems that are still destroying worlds. If he can't stop them, maybe Lapis can. These pair of gems, as we know from the opening theme song, are the two Lapis Lazulis. And I don't believe they're working alone. No. I don't believe Jasper's gonna get resolved in that first episode, or if she's in the second episode, that one. No, I think she's gonna go into the shadows for a bit and then come back with these Lapises. She's the one working with these Lapises, still having them terraform planets, still having them create colonies. Maybe she's trying to start her own colony. Afterwards, we have the final 2 episodes of the month, and likely the last ones before a major hiatus. Saturday, December 28th, Little Graduation, and Prickly Pear. In Little Graduation, Steven and the Gems celebrate Little Homeschool's first graduating class. And in Prickly Pear, after leaving Little Homeschool, Steven has found a new hobby, plants. So these two would be the mid-season finale of sorts, as I doubt Future's going to go beyond a regular production season. So the first graduating class of Little Homeschool, as going off a press image, includes the off-colors. I'm not sure if it's solely the off-colors, but it's great to see that they'll pop up and hopefully have a noticeable role in this episode. This description is too vague. I definitely think something horrible is gonna happen. Between the Bluebird Azurite fusion, Jasper, and those two lapis lazulis, conflicts that may or may not be wrapped up in their own episodes, I'm hoping they're left open-ended, this little homeworld graduation could have party crashers in the form of these rebelling gems. And who knows? Maybe they'll have the exact date pegged down because, surprise, surprise, one gem in Little Homeworld is actually a plant, a spy. Not an actual sentient plant, but someone who always planned to double-cross the crystal gems. Maybe it's that pink gem we see in the first episode, just saying. Or maybe Steven sent another message to the universe, inviting all gems to come to this little graduation, allowing the sinister gems to catch wind. Afterwards, we have Prickly Pear. After leaving Little Homeschool, Steven has found a new hobby, plants. Now, I'm not sure this is exactly a quote-unquote new hobby, as his diamond base is already pretty much a greenhouse. But to get straight to the point, yeah, this is the Cactus Steven episode. Maybe Cactus Steven isn't prompted by pumpkin stuff after all. After way, blah blah blah, new uncontrollable powers, the cactus goes insane, we'll see what happens. This is a long video, but as always, these are just my thoughts that I'm definitely gonna flesh out in even more upcoming theories. I already wanted to talk about the Blue Azurite fusion, but now that we A, have the actual name, B, know the episode they're going to appear in, I feel much more well equipped to tackle that subject, so be on the lookout for those. And of course, drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know which episode you're most excited for. And you can also tweet your thoughts at Roundtable Vids. And for my own thoughts, you can find me at Fox. Don't forget, we're also on Instagram. Special thanks to JANKYBONES for creating an awesome thumbnail. For more of their amazing art, you can find them on Tumblr at JANKYBONES, Twitter and Instagram at BoneJanky, and subscribe to their YouTube channel. Link in the description. Help the Roundtable grow by either becoming a member of this channel or supporting us over at Patreon. Link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please throw a like and subscribe to the Roundtable for more great cartoon content. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. Fox signing out.